you so much for joining. We are going to jump right in. This is Stories of Hope. This is number 18. I can't believe this is number 18 already. There's so much to talk about today. I'm in a new location right now. I'm in the lobby, the only place that has power, electricity. It's getting very frustrating. Cherish your electricity and power, because when you don't have it and your Wi-Fi, it's really a pain in the ass to get anything done. All right, tell me where you're all from. Hi from Kerala. What's up? Are you? You're kind of funny. So tell me where you're all from. Hello. So welcome to Stories of Hope. As I said, my name is Daniel Weber. If you know, great. If you don't know, too bad. You're on my show. So you're stuck. However you got here, you got here. I want to apologize for yesterday. You missed the balcony view? Well, I got attacked by monkeys. That's what I'm apologizing for. Sorry yesterday for the profanity and insane language while I was being attacked by monkeys, because I didn't see that coming, and then they tried to take my computer, and then they tried to take my laptop, then my book, then my then the tissue box he ran off with. Hi from Washington, D.C., Richa. Manipur, what's up? Pakistan, what's up? India, obviously, I'm in India too. So, sorry about all the profanity. It was kind of amusing, but when a large monkey is staring you in the face and sort of screaming at you, it's not really amusing. Only at the time it is. So we're going to dive right in. Sorry about the language. I'll try to refrain from such profanity sometimes. So I'm going to read some notes here. I know I usually speak faster in the segment. So am I from California? No, I'm from New York. I have a home in California, though. Hello from Sydney. No way. I love that. Karen Tiger Fleming. Wow, Sydney. You might be my first Sydney person today. So I know I'm speaking very fast. You can catch us on YouTube, on Facebook. We will keep blasting it out. And you can catch on my IGTV, of course. You are a fantastic person. Well, I don't know about that, but thanks anyway. Hello from Singapore. Wow, I love that. I love Singapore, by the way. And I love Sydney, too. Sydney was one of the coolest cities I've been. Singapore, one of the cleanest cities I've been. Small, 3 days. Singapore was perfect. It was very nice. Hello from Goa. I just want to tell a couple stories, of course, really quick before we bring our guest on. Number one, I want to always thank the frontline workers. I want to thank the hospital workers, doctors. Who else? South Africa, what's up? All the assistants, everyone in the hospital. Hello from Bangalore. So thank you so much. You guys are working, and you guys and girls are working endlessly. Men and women out there, thank you so much. You are flattening the curve. It is working. Thank you. I know you're working crazy long shifts. We've had doctors on here, nurses. They've told us how crazy the shifts are that they're working, and it is really remarkable. Just a really cool story of hope is that a 120-year-old, as they claim, I don't know, that's what the news is saying, she's 120. She's from Kashmir. She took her Covaxin vaccine today. And it was honored by an Army commander who did it for her. And is she really 120? I don't know, but she's probably pretty old, and that's why if you're worried about the vaccine, listen, she did it, and whether she's 100, 105, 120, 150, whatever it is, she still did it, and you should be, probably going out there doing it and getting it if you have access to it. It will take time to get access, which is going to be the next point that I'm getting to. Vaccines. The country is short of vaccines. We know that. It's been a problem. From the beginning, even though we manufacture them in India, there's just so many people in India, and we have run short, plus we shipped a lot out, probably 90 million to 150 million. We'll never know the real number, but we shipped a lot out, which probably wasn't the best idea at the time until we inoculated everybody here, but it was done. So today, the health minister, Harsh Vardhan, he claims that by the end of 2021, the entire adult population of India will be inoculated. That is 18 and over. Now, that could be possible because they have made deals, for instance, with Sputnik, who is expected to start manufacturing, that's the Russian vaccine, will be manufacturing in India from August onward. They guarantee 800 million doses by the end of the year. So it is definitely possible. I know that Covaxin, the Pune Serum Institute has also guaranteed another, 1 billion doses by the end of the year. So it definitely is possible, and we will see. Hopefully it is, because the only way to get past this is obviously to vaccinate. Today was an improvement. There was 2.57 lakh new cases. There was much more people that were released from the hospital, recoveries, which is the whole point. Again, over 2 million tests were done yesterday, which is very important as well. And that I think you have to keep that number. The positivity rate is down to 14.5%. It keeps decreasing, even though the active case or the positive cases for the day only reduced by 2,000, which is nothing. You have to understand that there was over 2 million reported tests done, and that is the number that we care about. We need to keep testing, keep testing. India claims the positivity rate is 12.45%. Other news saying 14.5%. Either way, it is dropping. We were at 29% just 10 days ago. Now, another inspiring story. If anyone knows, his name is Jasper Paul. He, a long time ago, he met with a road accident. His car was crushed. He managed to get a second chance in life, as he feels. He decided that he was going to help people through difficult times. He set up the Second Chance Foundation. He's working day and night to provide oxygen cylinders and to people that don't have access. So you are awesome, Jasper Paul. Thank you very much. Now, we're going to bring on our guest today. She is so I get this right, her first name is Tamanic. I could be pronouncing it wrong. If I am, I'm so sorry, and you will introduce yourself when you're on. She is an astrologist and a psychic. She's based in London and Mumbai both. She has a PhD in metaphysical and humanitarian science. She is the author of 2 books, The Way Ahead, sorry, that was like dyslexia, The Way Ahead, and The Vertical Path. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to have a psychic on the show was that people find comfort in different things in life. Like, we've had numerologists and astrologists and people that study Vastu, whether it's doctors, whether it's mental health workers and physical and fit health. Talking to a psychic is another way that people find a path forward through all this anxiety. So we are going to bring her in. I find very interesting. I don't know much about it, but I have a ton of stuff that I want to ask, and I think it's going to be great. So let's bring her in. There she is. Personally, I reached out to her. I want her on the show. I find this fascinating and amazing. Hello. How are you?
Hi.
That was so quick.
Good, Daniel. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. First off, I probably said your name incorrect, right?
It's Tamanna.
Tamanna. Okay.
That's right.
So, yes. Okay. Wonderful. You are where right now? In London or Mumbai?
I'm in London. I just got here 2 days ago, and I'm in hotel quarantine for the next
Oh, how long? 14 days or 10 days?
about 10 more days.
Okay. So now London, wow, I have to say you're probably pretty lucky. So I would have went back to the US, but my daughter has a Indian passport, so she can't travel. So it's kind of like this weird thing because we adopted her from India, so nothing I can do.
No?
Now, so she's with me and I'm with her, and that's how we're doing it. So again, I read a little bit about what you've done, the books, the names of the books that you have out. I have never been to a psychic or an astrologist. I've always been fascinated by psychics and how they, I guess, read and help people and find a path for people. I guess, I don't know if I'm using the right language at all for this. So I'm going to let you lead right now, and I'm going to interrupt you 20 times asking questions because I'm fascinated and I want to be able to ask them and not forget. So first, introduce yourself.
So, hi, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you, Daniel, for having me on board. So, I'm
Oh, thank you.
actually a psychic and a healer from birth. I started my spiritual journey when I was 9. And I have a gift from birth, Daniel, where I can pick up people's energies and I start getting visions about their life. And in a layman's language, I read their karmas. So I'm able to predict what they're supposed to be going through karmically, what is their journey, and I tell them when their cycles are positive, so when the time is in their favor, when the time is not in their favor, so they're more mindful about when to invest energies in certain aspects of their life and when not to invest energies. So that's
Wow.
part of what I do. Apart from that, I also have a gift of spirit communication. So I'm a clairvoyant and a medium. so I can communicate with deceased loved ones and get their, family members on earth messages for them. So that's a part of what I do. And then,
As
of
soon
course,
as
healing.
I told a few people that you were on the show, that was the first thing, which I'm sure you hear this all the time. That was the first thing that a few people wanted to know. Can she communicate with
Mhm.
people that have passed away? That seems to be like a question that everybody has.
Yes, I do. I do that. I do. I started auto writing when I was 12 and a half. That's when my spirit
Wow.
communication started happening. So it's just something I've done all my life. And of course, professionally, last 12 years, I've been doing this.
So when you started doing this, did you get like, uh, was this in your family already, or did you get pushback from your family?
It was actually, it runs in my family. I'm carrying this gift from
Oh,
my mother, my aunt. We're all healers and very intuitive, very aware. But I did get a lot of support, Daniel. By the time I was 9, my mom pushed me into it. So she introduced me to her guru. Her guru kind of took me under his wings, got initiated. So I had a lot of support from my family. My
wow.
mom would encourage me to do courses and really push me to do things. So.
Very nice. Do you find that people are more receptive in the UK or in India?
So 12 years ago when I started, people were not at all receptive because, the word psychic is not something
Correct.
that people really understand here. In the Western culture, it's very normal. How you have an astrologer in every building in India, you
Yeah,
have psychics
correct.
in US and UK. So 12 years ago, it was actually breaking through a stigma where I had to pause and explain to people what I do because they thought psychic is to do with black magic and spells and witchcraft,
Yeah.
which is not the. I think now with a lot of exposure and people becoming more aware and more curious about different kinds of spiritual paths, people are more receptive in India right now. But of course, the percentage is a lot stronger in the Western culture.
Yeah, so like growing up, we see places like in New York City, there were places all over the place. Psychic, tarot card readers, um,
Mhm.
astrology. They sort of group everything
True.
under one like location. And I don't know
Mhm.
if that's normal or not normal, but that's how it sort of was. And what was always strange was, and I don't know why this is, and this is no disrespect by any means, is that we sort of always saw those places more when we were out like really late at night in New York City, and then people would
Yes.
go, we'd be, could be at a bar or something, and then people would go, oh my God, we got to go to this place and check it
Mhm.
out, and I never did. And like I said, this is actually the first time I'm ever talking to someone like yourself, and but tons of friends of mine and people, that's sort of when they wanted to open up the most, probably because obviously for them they were mentally the loosest because maybe they had been drinking and they're like, okay, I'm willing to accept what somebody tells me, which we're not always
Yeah.
willing to accept. So, but in India, I don't think, like, of course, astrology, numerology, Vastu, all that is everywhere. Like you said, every building, there's somebody. And, but psychic, yeah, that term is not really used in India.
Yeah. And
So,
also,
yeah,
something not really need to be introduced in the Western culture. You don't have to exactly tell them what's it about. In India, I think people have a lot of notions about what exactly it is about. So that's the difference.
okay, so tell me something. March of 2020, when I guess February, March, when everybody started to figure out there's a pandemic and country by country, things started to close. Um, you were where? You were in India still?
I was in India, yeah.
Okay. Now, did you find that people started to reach out to you for any sort of guidance more so?
Oh, definitely. Earlier, the only difference was I used to travel. I had my office in Turkey, Dubai, Delhi. I was traveling, Bangkok, Singapore. So people were more open meeting face to face. No one really understood the whole phone
Yeah, of
session
course.
culture, whereas the phone culture session is very common. Yes, a lot of people started reaching out, more curiosity, and also because it gave a lot of people time in hand, go down and reflect on their life. So I think that kind of started pushing people to ask serious questions and seek answers.
Correct. So now we're 16 months into this, and I mean, I don't know if there's light at the end of the tunnel or not. I mean, every week there's something new. Every day, everything changes so rapidly, and from the West, it's no masks in the U.S. all of a sudden, and then their vaccine seems to be amazing, but yet, in India we sort of went in reverse. So I'm not sure exactly how to look at it now. trying to find out about everything else that they were talking to you about before. Right now, they're just have anxiety and they can't see or envision the future. Is that correct? Oh,
Having
sorry.
control. Right now, none of us actually have control,
Yeah,
you know. So whenever it's human
I know.
psychology, whenever we don't have control over something, anxiety builds up. And that's what the world is going through right now. But what is important for us is to be, number one, grateful that we're alive, breathing, and we have the basics in place. We have our, family members, hale and hearty. So I think people need to start counting their blessings. This is a time to sit and reflect on everything that's going their way and invest energies in that aspects of their life rather than control. I think human ego is just so delusional that it wants to control
I'm
everything.
a control freak. Listen, I'm this 16 months has been like yourself. I love to travel. Everyone loves to travel, but between I have offices everywhere, and I love to travel, and obviously with my family, without my family, I just like to be able to do like most humans want. They want to do whatever they want to do when they want to do it. I'm a control freak generally in my life, and I like
Mhm.
setting my own schedule. So this has totally thrown me for like a total loop. And every day is like Groundhog Day for me. I'm like, this is still going on 16 months later. So how do
Yeah.
you stay, like you personally, you're positive every day? That's it? You're just like, no
I
problem?
have, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people on my page know I was detected with COVID about three and a half weeks ago, Daniel.
Oh, wow.
And I was supposed to fly out, and a day prior, I got detected. And I went into quarantine. I quarantined myself for 3 weeks, and I finished my PhD. So my studying material that was pending for almost a year, I finished it in 3 weeks, got my
Of course.
degree. I So even during COVID, I was working, I was uploading content. And now when I've landed, I've just given my test this morning and I've come to know that I'm still positive and
Wow.
my day is still continuing. So I'm like, I can't control what's going on inside me, outside me. What I can control is I'm still working, I'm still creating content, I'm focusing on where I can, invest my energies that I get
Yeah.
returns. So I the sign of a positive, no one's positive by birth. You become positive depending on how you expend your energies. If you expend your energies trying to control something that cannot be controlled, you will always have a negative result, and the effect of that is going to be negative. You expel
That's
your
interesting.
energy in a positive way, which is under your control, you will have a positive outcome, which will automatically make you positive. So that's how it works. It's
That's a
like
very
investing in
interesting
a good
way
stock.
to put it.
You invest in bad stock, you lose money. You invest in a good stock, you'll make
Yes.
money. That's how it's
But the point is the risk. I mean, without
true.
risk, there can't be reward. So, I mean, you must go out on a limb sometimes. So,
Yeah, that's where
um,
also mindfulness comes in. It's very important to become aware of what is under your control and what is not under your control.
and even while you tested positive, um, that didn't even send you into any sort of tailspin at all. It didn't bother you at all.
Not at all. And I've had the worst symptoms. Yeah,
Wow, that's
physically,
remarkable.
it did take a toll physically, but
Yeah,
I still bounced back to work, and I was trying to focus on keeping afloat. And it's been a long journey and another 10-12 days of quarantine, and I don't even know why am I positive still. But yeah, you just
yeah.
have to do what you have to do.
Yeah, I know people that are positive for 20, 30 days. It's crazy. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason. Nobody sort of has the answers yet. I think we're all trying to figure this out still. Some people are positive for 5 days, some people are positive for 25 days. It's crazy. But as long as you're mentally and physically okay right now, that's all that matters. And you got to travel, which is even more remarkable, actually.
That is. And mentally, I think your physical immunity has got a lot to do with your mental emotional state of mind.
Yeah.
You can't
So,
allow fear, because the minute you go into fear or anxious mode, your body
yeah.
immunity goes down.
I agree with that. Of course, and I've told this on here at the show before, is many times, like I probably everyone at this point, 16 months in, is that we've all been in touch with someone who's been positive and then feared we were positive and then sort of had an anxious moment. I've had it in my house. Someone was positive, so I was worried about my kids, but then nothing happened. They remained negative. That happened 3 times. I had office staff. 3 people were positive. I sat next to them every day. I was never positive. My kids weren't. It's so crazy, but you go into this anxious tailspin of, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm sure it can't be good for the immune system at all, because the amount of stress that an internal stress that it's causing is crazy. Absolutely
It is.
crazy. So
Yeah.
now I have a couple questions for you. Number one, what is, when someone comes to see you for the first time or video chats you or however you take appointments, you do you guide them towards something, or you just want to know what they, let's say I'm someone who I just ran and I say, listen, I just want to know more about what my future is going to be like. How do you begin with somebody? Is it like everyone has their same sort of set ways of how you begin? I'm always curious about this.
Yeah. So in my case, I never, besides the full name of a
Are
person,
using
any of
Oh,
and
there you go. Okay.
I just
Hold on.
start.
Yours
I just.
yours keeps freezing up a little bit.
Oh, can you hear
You're in
me?
quarantine. You
Can,
know? Yeah, now I hear you. Start again.
so I was saying, besides the full name of a person, that's all the information that I need. And like I said, it's a gift. So I start downloading information. And there's a certain pattern I follow. So I tell them who their spirit guides is. I tell them where I see physical energy blocks. I start picking energies about what karmic lessons they need to learn, their career, finance, family, in terms of the positive cycles and the negative cycles. So I do detailed predictions for the next 1 2 years when the cycle is going to be in their favor and when it's not going to be in their favor. So this is a complete holistic.
Oh, bad.
Only,
Really want to hear this.
sorry.
Oh, I said your internet is cutting in and out, and I really wanted to hear this part of it.
Oh, okay. Should I just rejoin? You think that will help? I think this
No,
is
no,
this
it's
good?
good now. Now I hear. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
so
is good.
I was saying that I start channeling information about who their spirit guides is, their physical blocks, mentally, emotionally, where they need to work on breaking through their repeated patterns, their predictions about career, finance, family, marriage, their spiritual cycle, their low emotional cycle. So it's basically a complete holistic healing of how they can control things inside of them and how they
Wow.
can control things outside of them in terms of the time periods when they invest energies.
And
And then
people,
ask me
people.
their
Okay,
questions.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
And
And then what?
after the question is done, I leave it for them to ask me whatever questions they have.
Okay, I was gonna get now. Do most people just come for one session, or is this like a multiple thing? Like, how does this work? Like
See, every
therapy?
session, no, so every session is whole and complete in itself because I've
Mhm.
any which ways given them details for the next 1.5 year.
Yeah.
But say something I've said does manifest after 2 3 months and they need more clarity about it, they can always come back. Or if they're confident enough to kind of go through with it, they may even come back after a year or two. So it's very personal choice.
And do most people that leave the appointment, they're happy? They totally like, okay, the information makes sense. Like, are people are happy, I guess, or they're satisfied
Yeah,
for with their,
that's what
or are they
I've
angry
never
at
really.
what their future holds?
Even if they hear something, Daniel, that they are not prepared to, or something that they
That's my
didn't want
biggest
to hear,
fear, by the way.
I give them the emotional, spiritual, mental tool of how they can handle it in a better way.
Oh, so even if it's a negative, you kind of put a positive spin on it, so they don't walk outside and like go crazy.
No, for example, I'll give you, suppose you made an investment which has been negative,
Yeah,
and in the reading, I told you that, oh, Daniel, that was a negative investment. Of course, you will be disappointed. But
correct.
I will always tell you in balance because karma is all about balance. I will
Mm,
tell you that, Daniel, hold on to this investment. Don't sell it right now. If you sell it right now, you won't get the money that you desire. Sell it after 16 months, sell it after a year. So I will give you a time prediction when to sell it so you can, cover up for the losses that you're making.
very interesting. Balance. Balance is a good thing. I'm a Libra, so balance is supposed to be my thing. I'm not sure how much balance I have, but
Librans are
I have a couple
extremists.
questions for you. What's that?
I said, I was saying Librans are supposed to be extremists.
Yeah, but aren't we supposed to have balance?
That's the lesson you need to learn. You need to learn how to balance. That's why the Libran, uh, the graphic or whatever you want to call it is of a balance. That's their toughest lesson
Yeah.
that they need to learn.
Oh, that's so interesting. So we have to learn that. I thought it was supposed to be inherently in me already.
No, you have to learn that.
See how misread I was of the sign? Wow, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's my first lesson. Okay, so how do you control a phobia of different diseases after recovering from corona? Okay, this is very interesting. So phobias,
Yeah.
I'm just going to randomly have a few questions for you. Obviously, if someone had corona and COVID, they're
Mhm.
going to be fearful of so many different things. Am I going to catch this? Am I going to catch this? Any advice?
So you need to start by trusting your body. When you were born, you were an infant, and the person that you are today, you could be 5 feet, 6 feet, 5.5. Your entire body has just come up from an infant body. That's how powerful your body is. And you need to trust your body in knowing that no matter what the disease is, your body has its own healing capacity. The million cells that are inside your body,
Mm,
organs are created out of that. It's constantly battling everything that you've gone through in the past, and it also has the power to heal, provided it gets the mental and emotional support from you to heal.
very
So
nice.
somewhere you trust your body, and just surrender it, that okay, I know what my body is doing, and just take good care of it. That's important.
Okay. Roma, you will have to DM her directly. You want to know about your career path? I'm the wrong person to tell you. But I'm sure everybody always wants to know about how their career is going to shape up. So
Mhm.
you can DM her directly for that. Let's take one or two more questions, and then you tell people where they can find you. And we like
Sure.
to keep the show very short. And how do I find the right person for marriage? That I don't know. I'm sure people have asked you definitely so much relationship advice. DM her. Jessic underscore label. DM her direct. I'm sure that she'll be happy to answer questions for you. Do you answer your DMs, by the way?
I do. I'm
Okay,
pretty
good.
responsive. Yeah.
Good, good. People want to know because, I don't think I should tell them publicly how their relationship is going to turn out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Tell people where they can find you besides,
So
I'll be
that
posting obviously your Instagram, but anywhere else or your book or anything else, please tell people.
So you can find me on www.tamannac.com, and my Instagram handle is tamannac.psychic. So yeah, I'm pretty responsive, and email is tamannac111@gmail.com. So
Okay. And you'll share me this information so I can post it back on when
I
we're doing press as well.
will do that.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your quarantine because you
Yeah.
will be able to, I don't know what you will do. Maybe you will study for another PhD. I have no idea. You have 10 days left. Enjoy.
Yeah,
And I don't know. Are you in a hotel or are you at home?
I am in a hotel.
Ah, that's not so bad. So,
Uh,
are you in
It's like
London, central London?
I am going to be in Kingston, yeah, which is almost central. So I'm looking
Oh,
forward to it.
wow. Rough life.
Yeah.
Okay. So, nothing to complain about. So, I guess look at the positive, right? Could be much worse. So
You
thank
take
you so much
thanks.
for being on, and please be
Thanks.
safe, and you'll be
Yes.
negative very soon. I'm sure of it. And please send me
Amen.
all the details.
Thank you. Take
Thank you
care.
so much. Thank you.
We'll be in touch.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, that was amazing. For me, I've always had this interest in, I guess, people that can understand, tell, speak of the future, I guess, psychics. Maybe that's not the right word. As she said, it's not a common word in India. According to the people that are messaging here, she seems to know her stuff and they believe in her. So that is very cool. And I probably will have to take a session via video because now I'm very interested. And people like myself, I think everybody always wants to know how to contact people that have passed away. Um, I ask myself that often, as my father just passed away recently. So I never knew if I believed in that or not believed in it, but I'm pretty sure I'm willing to give it a shot. And that's about it. So now I'm going to take a couple questions before I tune out for the day. Anything. You guys can also tell me where you're from. I'd love to see where everybody's from. And you could also DM her directly, please. I will share her email and message her if you have any questions about your future, about your past, about your present, about where you are going, where you are not going, where you hope to go, where you think you're going, anything you want, life, death, anything. So let's see what we have here. Anything. Hello, Kerala. I'm in Kerala too. Hello from Dubai. My second love is Dubai. And that's all. Okay. If you missed anything and you missed a show, you can catch it back. This is segment number 18. You can catch it back on, yes, you can ask questions, on YouTube, on Facebook, and on IGTV. We will keep hello from London. She was just from London. So that's it. Please be safe. Tomorrow, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow we have something very, very, very interesting. Usually I don't tell who the guest is. Is it safe to ask questions? I guess. I don't know. It depends what you're asking. I mean, it shouldn't be anything perverted because I wouldn't answer it, but you can DM anything. I'm that open. So tomorrow we have a very interesting guest. I don't usually announce the guest the day before, but I am going to announce this guest. So tomorrow there is a food drive being held by SOS Children. The food drive starts at 11:30. We're going to broadcast right after the food drive so that Pratik Saloni who is the head of the organization, so he can tell us exactly how the food drive went while it's happening, feeding people that need and people that obviously cannot get a meal. They are helping. They're going to hand out hundreds of meals to people. They are amazing, and that's SOS Children. So we want to thank them. They're going to be on tomorrow, and that's it. When are you going to see me in Bollywood? I'm not a Bollywood kind of guy. I don't know. So, and that's about it. Love from Kerala, love from me. I'm in Kerala to you. I love you all. Thank you. Be safe. You can catch us back on Facebook, which is official Daniel Weber, or Daniel Weber 99, or right here. Hello from Mumbai. I'll be back there next week. See you later. Enjoy. Be safe. Wear 1 mask, 2 masks, 3 masks, whatever you have to buy.